Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about 5 players that I think shine in the Washington football team's 33-22 loss against the New Orleans Saints. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Also hit that like button and turn on those notifications. It really helps out the channel a ton, so please make sure you guys do that. And also check out WinView. The link is in the description as well on your screen, so make sure you guys check them out for a bunch of contests where you can win some big money. Let's get right into the video. Although it was a very disappointing game for the Washington football team, there were still some players that I thought played pretty well throughout the game, so we're going to get into those players right now. And if you guys want me to talk about some players that I thought struggled in the game, let me know also in the comments, as well as other videos you guys want me to go ahead and make. So the first player is Chase Young. I thought he had his best game of the season, first sack of the season, also first big play. He forced a fumble that helped the Washington football team score some points. Let me go through right here. He had 3 total tackles, 1 solo tackle, a sack, and a QB hit, but he also did much more than that. He got some pressures in there as well, and he was good in the run game. I thought Chase Young had a great game, and he's going up against a Ramczyk who's an all-pro tackle, so going up against good competition and still playing pretty well. If you look at the PFF grade, and again, you got to take it with a grain of salt, but had an 85 overall grade, a 90.4 pass rush grade, 7 pressures, 1 sack, a forced fumble, and a 38.5 pass rush win rate, which is really insane. 38.5%. That is really high. Probably the highest I've seen this season for any Washington player. He played well. He got that big impact play that we were waiting for, a strip sack on Jameis Winston that got, forced a turnover, and at least our defense yesterday forced some turnovers, which they didn't do since week 1, so that was one good thing. I thought Chase Young played pretty well, and he was able to get some pressure on the quarterback, and let's hope he continues to do this. Let's hope that this game spurs him to get some more big games like this in the next few weeks, because we're going up against great quarterbacks who know how to manipulate the pocket, and he's gonna have to play well if we have any chance of winning the next several games. So the next guy I thought played really well was DeAndre Carter. I mean, he was all over the place. He had a big catch on 4th and 14. You guys can see the tweet right here from Zach Selby, and he had 62 total yards on, or 62 receiving yards on the day, and he also had 1 rush for 11 yards, so that's 73 total yards on offense. He was great for us, and just had some big plays for us. He also was a returner, and he was all right today. Yesterday, 2 kick returns for 48 yards, an average of 24, but of course he caught a couple after he caught a couple like at the 2 or 3 yard line. So we started in pretty good field position, and he had 1 punt return for 10 yards. So I thought he played pretty well for us. I did not like a lot from what, I am actually somewhat of a Scott Turner fan, but yesterday I did not like what I saw from him, except how he used DeAndre Carter. I thought he was very creative in how he used him, getting the DeAndre Carter the ball out of the backfield. He got 1 carry for 11 yards, and also how they used him as a receiver, getting him 8 targets, 4 catches for 62 yards, 15.5 yards per catch. Had that big conversion on 4th and 14. So like I said, didn't really like the offense yesterday and how Scott Turner game plan, but I did like how he used DeAndre Carter. An honorable mention on this list is Adam Humphries. I just didn't want to put 2 receivers, but both, and Terry was good as well. I mean, Heineke just was late on him for a few plays, but I thought Adam Humphries as well made some big plays, 3 catches for 73 yards. Our receivers were not the problem this game. But yeah, DeAndre Carter, I think he's going to have an increased role, especially with, Curtis Samuel possibly not being back this week. I think it might be smart to, sit Curtis Samuel out for at least another week. Maybe not put him on IR, but, they kind of said he's week to week. Give him at least 1 week off. And then I would also, we'll see about De'Ami Brown, but DeAndre Carter is going to have an increased role in the next couple weeks until Curtis Samuel's back, Cam Sims is back, and De'Ami Brown is back, but I think he should be above some of those guys in the pecking order. Like, he should be above Cam Sims. I like Cam Sims, but I mean, Cam Sims, when he was active this year, wasn't doing much. He wasn't getting much playing time, but still, I like what DeAndre Carter is doing, and I think when some of these guys get back, he still should have a role in this offense because he adds a lot of different things, similar to Curtis Samuel, where you can use him in a lot of different places. I thought he played pretty well. Another player I thought played well was Antonio Gibson, and I know you'll look at, if you look at the stats, it says 20 carries for 60 yards, and you see the 3 yards per carry, and that looks ugly, but I think that's a little bit misleading. He had like probably 4 or 5 carries from inside the 3-yard line, and really just trying to get the offense is just trying to get out of that spot, and they're not even really trying to get a first down. Of course they want one, but they're just trying to get 1 or 2, 3 yards so they can have some room for the punter. That really skewed his stat line, and also they got a negative 7-yard run where it wasn't his fault at all, and that really lowers his average. But he had some really nice runs yesterday. Had 2 touchdowns, and receiving wise didn't do much, but 2 catches for 12 yards as well. I thought he was pretty good for us, and I still think we need to involve him more in the passing game. Only 2 targets. He needs more than that. He really does. I think he needs more like 4 or 5 targets, and I think that'll help out our offense a ton. But I thought he was good, and the stats might not show up, but I definitely think he's continuing to get better. And yeah, so the next player that I thought played pretty well for the Washington football team was Matt Ioannidis. He didn't, get on the stat sheet that much, but he was creating a lot of pressures. He almost got that safety on Jameis Winston, was just really setting things up for other pass rushers, getting some pressure on Jameis Winston, forcing him to throw some errant throws. I thought he was, if I remember correctly, I think he got some pressure, a little bit of pressure on that Jameis Winston interception. Let me go look at these stats. I believe he had 3 quarterback hits. Let's see. Yeah, he had 4 total tackles, 2 solo tackles, and 3 quarterback hits. He was great yesterday. I like what I saw from him. Probably his best game so far of the season. I thought the D-line for the most part played pretty well. I mean, they all got some pressure. Still, we want a little bit more pressure, but they couldn't get to the quarterback too much in terms of sacks. They got 2, but they got a bunch of quarterback hits and pressures, which is good to see. And I like, Matt Ioannidis is probably, him, Allen, and Payne are all great at getting some pass rush up the middle. But Ioannidis was probably the best interior pass rusher yesterday against the Saints. Really helped us out a ton. Hopefully, he can continue this in the next couple of weeks. And the last player that I thought really played well for us, and the stats again might not show the whole story, but I thought Ricky Seals-Jones was really good for us. He played 99% of the snaps. And ran only 1 route less than Terry McLaurin. And you look at the stats, he had 5 catches for 41 yards, was targeted 8 times, 8.2 yards per catch, and he played pretty well. He had that clutch one-handed catch on I think it was a 4th down conversion, or it might have been a 3rd down conversion, and it looked like he probably didn't get his foot in bounds, but still, they called it a catch. They, the Saints challenged it, and they didn't change the call. He had some clutch catches. He also had a 36-yard catch or something like that was wiped off the board because of a penalty on Wes Schweitzer, which, not really Wes Schweitzer's fault, but still, that got wiped off. I thought he was really good. His hands were really good. He made a couple really nice catches that, were really hard to make. So, once Logan Thomas comes back, I think I'm really liking how our tight end room is looking because, the combination of Ricky Seals-Jones and Logan Thomas is really going to help us out once Logan Thomas comes back. But I'm excited to see what Ricky Seals-Jones can do in the next few weeks because he's been balling out for us. And, the Chiefs, their defense isn't great. And, they've allowed more than 100 yards to the tight end position in each of the last 2 weeks. So he could be poised for a very, very big game. So those are the 5 players that I thought played pretty well. There's some other, honorable mentions. Like I said, Adam Humphries was pretty good for us, and that's probably it on offense. Besides the guys I said, Cole Holcomb was all right. And yeah, the defensive line for the most part was pretty good. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. And also check out WinView. Peace, guys.